righteous. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Witchfolk. Welcome to our coven. We are angels on broomsticks, and we're a mother-daughter duo. I'm Kristin.
And I'm Evangeline. And today it is witches, bitches, martinis, and makeup.
That's a mouthful, sister.
Yeah, but I feel like it's got a ring to it, like double, toil and trouble. So this is basically our Midnight Margaritas. We are kind of rebranding simply because we can't drink any more margaritas.
Diarrhea.
Like, yeah. Already sick of them. I love me a margarita, but we can't do it every week. So this is officially going to become a weekly series. So it'll be every Thursday where we're just going to be like, get ready with us style. We're going to drink a different cocktail. We're going to do our makeup, and we're going to talk about witchy and bitchy things that inspire us. So what's on the cocktail agenda?
The cocktail agenda today is called the Bourbon Sour. And this is a delicious cocktail with bourbon, egg whites, and lemon.
Yeah, and a bit of simple syrup, and that's it. And you shake, and you get the foamy.
Amazing.
For makeup.
Excited because I received this. The companion palette. This is the cutest. Look at this baby. So this is a indie brand called Copacetic, and they are Hispanic and Black owned. And this particular palette, they hand make them. So these are topper shades, so that's what it's meant for. So we're gonna go into those, but we're gonna just use the basic base. So we just pulled out today the Natasha Denona Biba palette, and we'll just put something kind of neutral, and then try out these shades, which are freaking stunning.
So on the agenda for today, for what we're talking about, is Emerald Fennell's Promising Young Woman. So before we begin, I do want to give a content warning. The movie does talk about matters of sexual assault and harassment, so we're also going to be talking about subjects like that. We are going to be talking about the movie, but we're not going to give away the ending. We're going to not give away any main spoilers, but we will talk about a couple plot points. I feel like some of you have probably already seen it because like everybody's talking about it now. So yes, let's go.
Let's get started.
Do our makeup. All right. Premise of the movie, I will explain a little bit for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. I feel like, okay, let's just start off with the trailers. When I saw the trailer to this movie, I thought it was going to be like you thought it was going to be like a superhero movie. I
was told if you like the Joker, I don't know why.
Yeah.
The Joker, you'll like this movie.
And then you told me that, I was like, what? But then I realized like the trailers almost make it look like she's like killing all these guys, and
and they also make her lipstick all smeared.
So she looks just insane. So that's kind of interesting that they almost had to advertise it in a specific way to make her seem like Joker-esque and crazy. In actuality, the film, she's quite rational. She's quite got her head on her shoulders, and she is a vigilante in that she's delivering her own justice, for sure.
Plus she's clever. Oh my God.
This movie, I personally found so satisfying.
Oh, yes.
Like that, just moment after moment, like, yes.
Yes, bitch, yes.
Yes. So, one thing is she is not actually the victim of the rape that happened. It was her friend named Nina, and her name is Cassie. So she's like a vigilante in the name of her friend. One of the main premises is that she goes to nightclubs, pretends she's like blackout drunk, and then kind of basically every night a guy picks her up, tries to take advantage of her, and it's her doling out justice. She doesn't kill them. Don't worry. It's not like that.
Yeah, and we find out she dropped out of med school.
Yes.
And she's, 30?
Yeah, she just turns 30, and she lives at home, and she works in a coffee shop, so it's like, oh, she's a failure. But in actuality, well, you're not a failure anyway if you work in a coffee shop.
And what's interesting is, like, the actors that are hired, like her mother is
Jennifer Coolidge?
Yeah, Jennifer Coolidge. Everybody's an actor you recognize.
Adam Brody's in it. The dude from Superbad. They specifically cast actors who do play sort of the good guy. They're like known as the good guy. Like think of Adam Brody. He's like Seth Cohen in the OC.
I love that show.
Yeah.
I still miss that show.
And he's in Gilmore Girls, and he's that sweetheart. And so they cast some dude from The New Girl.
Yeah, the guy from The New Girl, and
so they're like playing with that trope of the good guy, even with the actors. So the guy who's often the one who like tries to take her home and pick her up is the guy who's like trying to help her. He's probably like got a Tinder profile where he self-proclaims, he's a good guy.
And he's funny. You notice that? Every guy on Tinder says they're funny, and they're not.
I'm funny. I'm a
funny.
good guy.
How can you tell you're funny? Do you laugh at your own jokes?
I'm 6 feet. Ooh, ladies, you like that. So they're all self-proclaimed good guys, but they also kind of seem a little innocent. And what I thought was really accurate about that is often sexual predators are the good guys. They're the guys frankly, that get away with it because they're like often privileged white dudes who like, what?
Army Hammer.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that?
Army Hammer, guys.
I didn't know about this until she told me about it today.
Army Hammer.
I
Like,
guess
how hot is he?
He's canceled probably.
He's
now, right?
canceled. He's the hottest guy in the world. And now he just fucked up his whole life.
Yeah.
There you go. Like, the devil doesn't, wear horns and have 3 heads. No.
That's probably your friend, that one.
The devil is hot, hot, hot.
So true. So this movie has that thing with the good guy, and it's not who you expect. And I feel like the title is also a bit of a play on that, A Promising Young Woman, because the guys who are often perpetrators, it's always like, they say, oh, he was a promising young man. He was the star athlete. He doesn't deserve to go to jail. He doesn't deserve to have this happen to him. He's got a bright future ahead of him. So obviously the title is a play on that, A Promising Young Woman. How women's lives are so destroyed by this.
Exactly.
So this movie, I don't even know what genre to call it. There's so many tonal shifts in it. At one point, it's got like rom-com vibes, and it was at that point in the movie where I watched it twice now. I watched it with my partner, and I watched it with
lucky.
you.
I want to see it twice.
You can watch it twice. And you were both like, oh, it's over now. I'm like, oh, fuck no, it's not over. It's not going to end on like a chipper, happy rom-com note. This is too serious of a subject matter. But it's funny because that's just such a Hollywood thing. Like, things get wrapped up in a bow. Do not expect this movie to be the wrapped up in a bow type. It's very realistic in that way because victims do not get that ending,
Exactly. When I first heard of this movie, I was watching my morning TV show, and they had the film guy come on. He didn't like it. Okay. And my theory is men do not like women vigilantes.
They don't
It makes them uncomfortable.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people might even be uncomfortable with things like this because they see the finger that's being pointed at them. And they're not ready. It's probably why he didn't like it. Let's be honest. He's probably the good guy. Okay, I shouldn't say
He's
that.
probably the good guy. No, he looks like he's a good guy. He's so nice. But he was so nice.
He's so nice.
I think I want to do my eyes, no?
Okay, let's go to eyes.
Eyes. Yeah, so, wow. It was a really, really great movie. Like, also stylistically.
So I read a interview with Carey Mulligan about it. She was talking about how they specifically chose to make a very bright and colorful movie about such a hard subject. It's very it's just very colorful, like bright pastels.
You should see her nails.
Yeah, it's the iconic manicure.
If I wasn't letting my nails rest, I would totally do.
I actually thought you were gonna show up.
I know. I didn't have all the colors.
I should do my eyebrows. So it's very bright, very there's pop music. It's very feminine.
It's very Wes Anderson kind of looking, where the main character and then all the
framing. There's some interesting framing in this movie that I noticed. I'll put up a couple images here where she's framed in very like angelic imagery. So I guess she's the sort of vengeant angel. What's the word for it? The angel of justice. What I appreciated about this movie was how they specifically handled the topic of sexual assault. For one, you never see it, which I think is almost freaking revolutionary in a movie. Have you noticed how often like rape and sexual assault are like shown graphically and traumatically, and we have to be there to watch it when so many women have already experienced it firsthand, and you're just watching a show you like and you have to watch that? No.
Yes.
I'm so over that, so overseeing that. So what's great about this movie is you don't see anything. There's one point where you kind of hear a bit of something in a videotape, but you never see anything. You don't suffer through seeing a victim and what happened to them. You hear about it sort of through like remarks about what happened to her. I think she killed herself, I assume. But they never say anything.
Well, you know
about
she
it.
did because, you know, her friend is dead because she wears this necklace.
And she has both halves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler, by the way.
No. Her friend is never there. So you're not going through the victim narrative in the same way. Like, in some ways you are, but it's not...
You don't even know what the friend looks like.
No, you never do. You'll
Not
see a
even
picture
through,
of her
like, some flashback or anything like
No.
that.
Which I appreciate it in a way because it's... I don't know quite how to explain it, but it's very different.
Mm-hmm.
Very different than seeing something like Sansa Stark, like, raped graphically in Game of Thrones. I think by the end everyone was quite over Game of Thrones because of the constant rape and gratuitous nudity.
I don't think they were over that. They
Really?
love the GFN.
Okay, the GFN maybe, but not the rape. People were talking about it on the internet.
Okay, well, I hope so.
Yeah, I think people were quite over that. So in this movie, they talk a lot about victim blaming. They address all the ways, you know, this woman was blamed for what happened to her. Oh, she was drunk. What is with that?
Yeah, can you imagine?
How? I can't believe people still use that as something to say. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What about the guys? There's never any accountability. Like,
say some guy was drunk, some young guy in university was drunk, and he got beat up. Mm-hmm. You'd be like, oh my God, he got beat up. Yeah. That's awful. Who would do that to a young, poor, promising young man?
Yeah.
But no.
They would never say, oh, he was drunk, like he was asking to be beat up. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously, because he's, you know, wears his pants too low.
It's ridiculous. So this movie addresses all of that victim blaming, and shows ways to shift accountability. And it starts from the very beginning. She's pretending to be drunk. She's in an Uber ride home, and Adam Brody is trying to take her home, take her to her own house. And then the Uber driver's like, oh, you're going to puke in my car. Don't let her puke in my car. And then he's like, oh, do you want to go to my house? It's closer. And she seems like she's out of it. And the Uber driver sees that. You see him see her in the review mirror. And he's like, just change the address. Like, he is accountable.
Yeah, he's accountable, and he's inspiring as well, right?
Well, a lot of the time, I have many friends who've experienced Uber drivers in themselves who have been...
Really?
Yeah.
Ew.
So that's the place you think you're going to feel safe. You're trying to get home, and the Uber driver is attempting to who is harassing you. That has happened to several friends of mine.
No way.
Oh,
I thought you couldn't do that in this world.
They've been reported, but who knows what happened? Who
Do
knows?
taxi drivers do that?
Probably. Yeah. There's a lot of language, too, in this movie about calling her crazy. Mm-hmm. You're a bitch. You're crazy.
You were going to tell me a story about how someone called you the cray-cray.
Yeah. We were walking down Spadina Avenue, which is a downtown street in Toronto. And my friend was wearing these colorful tights. It's so funny because they had that pastel bright texture and color of this movie. They're like, I swear, like bright purple tights. And some dudes started we were walking down the street, and the dudes were passing, and they're like, started saying stuff about her legs, like all of them queuing in. And I was like, I stopped in my tracks. And I was like, what the fuck? Why do you think it's okay to talk to women like that when you're walking down the street? You know what the first thing they did was? Pulled out their camera phones and started filming me,
I didn't
yelling
know
at
this
them.
story.
You didn't?
No.
Yeah, so they just started filming me, yelling at them because they thought, and they were laughing the whole time. They were just laughing about it as if it was the funniest thing they'd ever heard. And I was just like, what is wrong with you? Like, you can't talk to women that way. Do you know it makes women feel uncomfortable? And they were just laughing and filming me.
They don't care.
No, I know.
And they posted it on Instagram. Was it pre-TikTok?
Oh, this was several years ago.
Check out my glitter.
Oh my god, that's some glitter.
So this is like pressed glitter, but it's not that creepy glitter. You don't feel like it's gonna go in your eye and blind you. This is Nina.
Nina?
It's a very soft.
You're putting Nina?
Yeah.
How fitting.
It's very soft and and you can kind of blend it.
I'm using, this like pale green color Lexi. And just with my fingers, and it's really so blendable. This was one of my first favorite eyeshadow shades when I was like in grade 8. Was like a pale green like this.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Actually, this palette's kind of fitting for the movie. This is literally the color of the movie.
It literally is. Those were her nail colors.
Yeah. Maybe missing the yellow, but... So where was I getting with that? Oh, just like how dudes will say things like, you're a bitch. Oh, you're not that hot anyway the moment you reject them. Oh, you're fucking fat anyway. I didn't like you. You know, they always do that.
They call you fat? Not you personally, but they still do that?
Oh, yeah. I've seen people on my Instagram post things that men had sent to them on like Tinder or whatever. When they say that they're not interested. Oh, I wasn't into you anyway. You're fucking ugly. You actually think you can get a guy? Shit like that.
I had some man say, I just barfed in my mouth.
You were saying on your OkCupid some of the shit people said to you.
Yeah. I just barfed in my mouth.
You know I meant saying that, right?
Why?
Because they can't have you, so they just make you feel shitty because of the fact that they can't have you, so I'm going to make her feel shitty.
Well, I don't feel shitty looking at this.
So there's a point when she's walking down the street in the morning. She's got a breakfast sandwich with ketchup dripping down her hand, so it looks like blood. These construction workers are like, hey, guy, you're so hot. Do you want to fuck me or whatever? She just stares at them. She just stands there staring.
And it makes them so uncomfortable. It reminds me of the episode of Sex and the City when Miranda's walking in her... I got what you want. I got what you need. And she's going to Blockbuster to return a video. And she said, you got what I want? I want to get laid. And he's like, hey, I'm married.
It's so ridiculous. Are they so lacking of self-awareness? Yes. Dudes like that? Yes.
It's hilarious.
Oh my god. And the thing is, if you do that in real life, that's usually probably the reaction you get. Oh, you're fucking ugly anyway. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't want you anyway.
They dismiss you.
It's their way to try and take power.
Like, I've never said to a man, you're ugly, even though I wanted to.
True.
I've never said, oh, you're fat, your dick is too small, or you're bent the wrong way.
Can you imagine doing that? Like, you got
I've never insulted a man. I have in my head, but never outside my mouth.
Yeah. No, you rejected. You say all these things. Like, can you imagine obviously, men who say that are just insecure and their egos were just like plummeted. Mm-hmm. How's this?
We don't mean to man bash because,
no, but.
This was one satisfying movie. Yeah. If any of you guys ever went to university and had like that kind of frat boy behavior, or anything.
Okay, here's a question. Do you think they would have made this movie before the Me Too movement?
No. It'll come across as like really bitchy, like Heathers, like something, there was just a brilliant time to make it, I think. And I'm just so impressed. I'm impressed with the youth. I'm not one of these old people that slam millennials. I'm impressed with the way they're handling themselves. You know that, right?
Yeah. I saw an article in Now that was saying, like, is this movie triggering or is it empowering? But I don't think this movie or a movie like this has to be one or the other. Because it's triggering, why does that necessarily have to be disempowering? I think there's a narrative around victimhood that because you experience something that you're immediately disempowered by it. We think of victimhood as being a form of disempowerment. But I think we're moving into the stage where victimhood doesn't have to be that. Like, we're understanding that it's complex and it's nuanced and it has so many different ups and downs.
I just put something in.
Oh, okay.
It's fantastic. This is like that shade in Pat McGrath's Mothership 5. It shifts from purple, pink. It's insane. Sorry, I don't mean to.
But yeah, anyway, I don't think it's triggering or empowering. Like, it's not one or the other. Know what I mean? I think it's important to put trigger content warnings. If you see this movie, you know what you're watching beforehand.
Exactly.
And I did feel like I needed to say what we were talking about beforehand, but that's very different than asking, is this empowering? You know, so I think it's both. It's a both and situation. Okay, I feel like we have something going on here, but I'm not quite sure. I'm going to deepen the crease, I think a little. We should do our mascara and then do the rest of our complexions.
All right.
Okay.
We'll take a little breakout.
Yeah. I'm going to put our mascara on. We'll be right back.
Bye.
This is a bit much. These half flashes are a bit much, but I feel like that's okay.
Yeah.
What do you think I was talking about?
Saying anything's a bit much in this day and age. Nothing's too much.
Nothing's too much.
Oh, and we're filming this the day of inauguration. Just as an FYI.
Yes.
So far, so good. Nobody's gotten killed. Like, I went on Facebook to look for somebody I once knew, and I typed in his name. Not somebody, but anyway, I got the wrong one, but I managed to go on his profile, and he was from the States, and he was like, I don't condone what happened, but our country is being attacked, and the Lord Jesus must, find the way. God bless President Trump, and like all hit like a long thing.
God.
It's so scary. Like, they think that Trump, God blesses him. No, he doesn't even believe in God, guys. Guys.
I feel like I'm all over the place today. These cocktails are hitting me hard.
I'm doing my blush high,
I had a night, because those COVID times, and I'm not working. I'm not gonna lie, I had a night where I obsessed about my face shape, and I'm like, is it oval? Is it long? What is it? Where should I place my blush?
What did you decide? Is it oval?
I have not decided. I think it's pretty oval, but the bangs cut it off a little.
Those are new. She never used to wear bangs, guys.
I have before, though. In my life.
I used a highlighter. I used this cute shade, and it's green shifting. Sorry, drunky. Okay, drunky. I use this as a highlighter. It's very Pat McGrath.
Should I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, one thing is I never used glitter glue in this situation. Did you?
I did, because I used the chum case.
So did I, and I think actually it made such a difference that you used it. Oh. I'm gonna put a blue lip on. Should I?
Yeah.
This is Fenty. Turks and Caicos.
I've got some Fenty here too. But definitely, I'm deciding 2020 was about the Fenty, these types of lipsticks. And they're on sale, and there's so many sold out, it's sad. But look, I got the purple one. It's God's way of making you get the blue and the purple because that's what's left.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about a female rage movie.
What?
It's called Young Adult.
Oh, yeah.
And she is so pissed, like she's crazy. She's depicted as crazy. It's like one of my favorite movies, and nobody's seen it. And she goes to not like a high school reunion, but like her old boyfriend had a baby, and they're having a baby shower, and she like has a meltdown, and it's one of the best meltdowns. Oh, it's so good.
I forgot that movie. I saw it years ago. I think I'm going to watch it tonight.
Yeah, she's crazy bitch. She is a crazy bitch.
But we like to talk about bitches, witches, and makeup. We love bitches.
Yeah, and go crazy.
Go crazy. Be crazy. Like we are with our makeup today. I think I'm going to put a bit more blush on. I think that's what I'm going to put on my tombstone.
You don't have a tombstone?
One day.
We don't tomb?
Well, we're going to cremate, but my thing would be I'm going to put a bit more blush on. That's
you're going to put a bit. That's so funny.
Just a little bit more. Just a little bit. Can you tell I've had a lot of these drinks? Yes.
You haven't had that many.
Enough that I am not even aware of what's going on around me.
Okay, guys.
These are the finished looks. I love that purple.
And you're blue. I think we did really good.
I think we look like a mermaid.
I think we're cohesive.
I think we're thematic. On theme.
Mm-hmm.
On theme. Thematic. Wrong word. We're on theme.
And we're highly fuckable.
And we're witches and bitches. Okay, it's a couple drinks in. Can you tell? I highly recommend this movie.
I love this palette.
Let us know down below if you've watched the movie, if you've tried this palette, and if there's anything else you'd like to hear us talk about, because we are definitely open to talking about all kinds of things. Not just movies, not just books, a person, a thing.
We have to talk about Frida Kahlo.
Yeah, maybe.
And do a makeup look.
Oh, wow. That'll be a makeup look. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're totally open to talking about so many
Yeah.
things. It's becoming weekly, officially, every Thursday.
Yes.
Yes. So we hope to see you next time. Our Sunday videos are going to be dedicated to more technique, maybe. New releases.
New makeup that we're trying. Because we don't have all the new because we're not that new.
One day.
One day.
We will. But until then, I don't know.
Until then, goodbye. Have a nice evening. Cheers,
Happy
bitches.
Inauguration Day. Happy women. Happy witches. Happy bitches.
Happy bourbons.
Happy bourbons.
Okay.
Goodbye, witches.
Bye.